Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into it, tackling the Germany study visa. We've got a whole load of source material you've shared.
Yeah, and it's clear why Germany is such a hot spot.
Totally. Your sources shout about it. Top universities, think TU Munich, Heidelberg.
And that massive draw of the public universities often having like zero or super low tuition fees.
There's less the chance to work. Soak up the culture. It's a great package.
Absolutely.
But okay, let's be honest. Getting the visa to actually study there, the sources suggest it's, well, not always straightforward. Can be pretty complex.
Definitely some hurdles.
So that's our mission today. We're going to try and cut through the noise, pull out the really essential stuff from your sources.
Yeah, the key requirements, the common roadblocks, pitfalls.
Exactly. And the best tips we found in the material to help you figure it all out. What do you really need to know?
Well, what's interesting is how deliberate the German system seems to be with these requirements. They're kind of designed to make sure you're genuinely ready.
Ready academically, ready financially.
Precisely. So the sources lay out some non-negotiables. First thing, obviously, you absolutely need that official admission letter.
From a recognized German university, right? That's square one.
Can't proceed without it.
Okay, let's talk money. The financial proof. It came up in like every single source.
Yeah.
Especially this whole blocked account thing.
Yes, per conto. Yeah.
It sounds a bit intimidating, maybe. But basically, it's just proving you've got the cash to live on for your first year.
Exactly. And the sources are pretty specific on the amount. It's typically EUR 11,208 you need to show.
And that's not just a random number, is it?
No. It's calculated based on estimated living costs per month. You know, rent, food, transport, the basics, times 12 roughly.
So it covers a year. And blocked means you can't just pull it all out at once.
Right. The idea is you usually get access to a fixed amount each month, maybe around EUR 934 or so.
Oh.
It's the main way Germany ensures international students won't need public assistance. It shows you're self-sufficient.
Okay, proving self-sufficiency. Got it. Big check mark there. What else is on the must-have list, according to the sources?
Well, you've got your standard stuff, a valid passport, obviously, the actual visa application form, filled out correctly.
Health insurance, that came up too?
Mandatory. Yep. You need proof you've got coverage that meets German requirements. Can't skip that.
And academic proof. Transcripts and stuff.
Show your qualifications match the program you're entering. Certificates, diplomas, whatever they ask for.
And then there's the language piece, which is, pretty crucial depending on the course.
Oh, absolutely critical. If the course is in German, you're looking at specific tests, Teststaff, DSH, maybe a Goethe certificate. The university will tell you exactly what level.
And for English taught programs?
Usually TOEFL or IELTS. Again, the required scores come straight from the university. You have to hit their target.
It's not just ticking a box, is it? It's about actually being able to follow the lectures, do the work.
Exactly. Can you actually succeed? That's the underlying question.
Okay, so with all these requirements, where do people usually stumble? Your sources mentioned common reasons for rejection.
Yeah, they were quite clear. Top of the list, again and again, insufficient financial proof.
So not having that full EUR 11,208 in the blocked account, or maybe setting it up wrong.
Exactly. Major red flag for the visa officers. Yeah. Another big one is a weak statement of purpose, the SOP.
Right, the SOP. That's basically your essay explaining why Germany, why this specific course, why this uni, and what you plan to do afterwards. Yeah.
That's it. And the sources really emphasize that a weak one is like too generic. It doesn't really connect your past experience or future goals to this specific program.
Doesn't sound genuine, maybe. Like a copy-paste job.
Yeah, it fails to convince them of your real academic motivation. Also high on the rejection list. Just simple mistakes. Incomplete documents. Missing paperwork.
Ah, the small stuff that trips you up.
Totally. And of course, not meeting those language score requirements set by the university.
Yeah, so okay, how do you avoid being in that rejection pile? The sources had advice, right?
Definitely. The main theme running through everything is be meticulous and start early.
How early?
The recommendation that pops up a lot is at least 3 months before your course starts. Gives you buffer time.
Okay. And meticulous means?
Double-checking every single document against the official checklist from the embassy or consulate, no exceptions.
Really nail that statement of purpose too, I guess. Make it specific, personal.
Essential. Clearly explain your why. And back to the money, make sure that blocked account is set up correctly with the full amount well ahead of time. Don't leave it to the last minute.
Anything else? Interviews.
Yeah, some sources mention preparing for the visa interview itself. Be ready to talk clearly about your study plans, how you're funding it. confidently.
Right. So pulling this all together, getting the visa sounds, well, challenging. Your sources mentioned acceptance rates sometimes around only 10–15% of applicants. That really highlights how important being thorough is.
It's a significant hurdle for sure.
But definitely doable, right, with the right planning and really paying attention to detail.
Absolutely achievable. And, if you connect this back to the bigger picture, these strict rules, especially the money, the SOP, they really reflect Germany's strategy.
How so?
They want students who are serious about studying and who can demonstrably support themselves. It's about commitment and stability. You see experts mentioned in your sources like Dr. Grothis or Julia Zimmerman making this exact point.
So it's about showing you're a good investment, academically and financially.
Pretty much. A solid application showing clear purpose and financial stability is what they're looking for. And again, starting early, checking everything. These tips are everywhere in the material.
Makes total sense. Okay, so here's a final thought for you listening, based on some numbers in the sources. Germany apparently issued over 416,000 study visas in 2024. Huge number.
Massive.
But that acceptance rate among applicants is still cited as being relatively low, maybe 10–15%.
Yeah.
So what does that contrast, the high volume of visas issued versus the tough selection process, tell you about how crucial your own individual careful preparation is compared to just being one face in a very large crowd?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And maybe more personally, whatever the outcome is for your application. What unexpected lessons might you learn just from going through such a complex international bureaucratic process? Something to chew on.